now looks like the rapists there, Nirbhaya's case, will not be hanged on January 22nd. Delhi government informed the Delhi High Court that the execution of Nirbhaya's gang rape and murder convicts will not take place on the 22nd of January, as the convicts have filed a mercy petition. And according to the prisoner's rule, they have to wait for the convicts' mercy plea to be decided by the president. Yet another delay in executing justice or executing death sentence for these convicts. In fact, Nirbhaya's case has been pending before court for over 7.5 years. It's now time for them to be sentenced to death. But despite all the hue and cry and trying to push all of the case to speed up, it seems like this time around, the court is waiting for another round of mercy petition. It's absolutely a long, prolonged, painful wait for the family of Nirbhaya. Undoubtedly, this is something that was not expected, but yet it seems like the convicts have another round of mercy plea that the court has to wait before it's heard. Let's take a listen. KV Dhananjay, our Supreme Court advocate, joining us on the phone line. Mr. Dhananjay, here we have Nirbhaya's convicts who were all set to be hung on the 22nd of January will now, their execution of death sentence will have to wait a little longer until another round of mercy plea is heard. We thought it was all over. What's this wait yet again? Would you be able to tell us?
True. I think, what's happening in Delhi is this, which is every state will have its own jail manual. And the last time the magistrate set a death date of 22nd of January, it looks like, nobody told the magistrate that there was a jail manual under which if only mercy petitions would be filed and mercy petitions are decided by the president one way or the other, then a hanging can only happen 14 days thereafter. Now, these rules are there in place just to ensure, that, let's say, in a hypothetical scenario, the president would grant mercy, but then that is not properly communicated to the jail authorities, and the jail authorities inadvertently go and execute a person.
Right.
So taking such eventuality into consideration, there is this time lag of 14 days, which unfortunately I think the magistrate was never informed. And without that information, the magistrate went on to set a date of 22nd of January. Now the authorities have come around and they are informing the court that there is a time lag that will have to be given effect to. So with that being the case, it looks less likely that the court will go ahead with the execution on the 22nd, not the court, the jail authorities will go ahead with the execution on 22nd of January. Now, at this point of time, it's a submission only. So what is required is for an order either by the magistrate himself recalling or modifying the previous order, or an order by judicial order by a higher court. So until that happens, at this point of time, we are looking at arguments coming forth. So expectation naturally will be there that such argument will be accepted by the court concerned, either by the magistrate court or by the high court. So there will be a delay. There will be some delay now. That's expected.
Right. Here, this convicts filing another round of mercy plea, considering the heinous crime committed by these members, will this mercy plea even be entertained, Mr. Dhananjay?
Well, it's the way because mercy pleas are such that no president would say that I will not even consider it because it's a matter of giving mercy, it's a matter of giving grace, and that is why in every case the president would say that, look, I have looked into your file, I have considered it in great detail, and I have been advised that it is not a fit case for mercy. Now, these are at least the words the president would, make, and for those words to be made, some amount of time is required. So it looks like the President of India, no doubt, will do the expected, which is to reject the mercy petition. But that rejection won't happen very instantly. And even in the event it happens instantly, there is that 14-day under the jail manual that will have to be, given the cooling period. So that is how it goes. Now, what happens is this. The president would not decide on his own. The president will be taking the recommendation from the central government, and that is a recommendation he will act on. He is more or less bound by that recommendation. So the central government has made its point so very clear that because they have already recommended the rejection of mercy plea filed by other convicts in this case, they will adopt the same stand. Number one. Number two, this is a case where all the four convicts were convicted on the ground of conspiracy as well, which means in order to understand the role of any one convict, it is necessary also to understand the role of all the other convicts. So it is fair to say that the president and the central government are too much familiar with this matter. So to decide these new mercy pleas, they don't really, technically also need to deliberate that much, because, the last time they decided not to act on the previous mercy plea, they already have come to know the role of each individual person, because this was a case of conspiracy,
right,
which means all four were, acting together. So each person was performing a different role, and it was all orchestrated and so on and so forth. That's how it is. So while there won't be a kind of a delay on the part of the president or on the part of the central government, the delay is primarily happening because of this inadvertence, which is nobody consulted the jail manual. And we all can understand the pain the parents of Nirbhaya are going through, because they are doing the unprecedented thing here. Now, more than 350 persons are waiting for their deaths in various jails in this country. Now, in most cases, why they are not being hanged before these four convicts is because no one is really taking the initiative. For that matter, the victims' side, whoever is dead, their relatives or their family members just become so upset with the judicial process, become so upset with the whole system, they just go away. So in this case, you have parents fighting for fighting to ensure that the death penalty is executed, and that's why this case is, it's really become so important for the public to really see. And then because unlike other cases, the facts of these cases are so very vivid.
right.
The public is too well aware of the facts of this case. That can't be said for many other death penalty cases. That's how. I think the public sentiment, I think, is understandable. They would be severely disappointed. But that disappointment probably is a matter of 2 or 3 weeks only. I don't see any other possibility of these convicts being able to evade the event inevitable. Probably it's a wait of another 2 weeks or 3 weeks. But I think that's it. I don't think this case would present any further difficulties than that.
Right, Mr. Dhananjay, thank you very much for joining us with those details there. Nirbhaya's convicts, her rapists, who even ended up murdering her, will have to wait a little longer. Of course, for them, it is every day is a skip, every day is a miss. It's a life and death situation for them. They're trying tooth and nail to see if they can delay their process of death sentence. And it appears they've somehow managed to delay it by a little longer, with the court now hearing another round of mercy pleas of these two of the convicts there.